right, we're back again. Katie and Renata, nice to have you here. Thank you so much for being part of the disclosures here and to help us share and get the news out. Okay, we're going to start first with opening prayer, and then we're going to get into the next cases going on in South Carolina, and there's so many shows. But we're shortening them so that you're not here forever.
Yeah.
And we're not here forever.
We're not here, yeah.
Okay, so dear God, Heavenly God, please put your complete armor on all of us. Everyone, who is blessing us to watch this and is on our side and us. Thank you for all your blessings, and I bless you in your creation. Guide us and help us through this, and help us all to find a way to save these kids in the name of Yeshua.
Amen.
All righty. So we're going to start off with, let's see. Oh, you know what? It could have happened. I pressed that. Maybe it happened. Mm-hmm. Never mind. My mind is going somewhere.
We've been here for like a half hour.
Yes, for some reason it didn't record our first second try.
So we've been doing this.
Take two.
The second one will be better anyway.
I remember a glitch. Remember that? I'm like, why didn't it change? And it could have just glitched.
Well,
and
you did
turned
fantastic the first time.
Here we go again. Anyway, it's good to be here with you. I don't want to be here too long, so we're going to do this quickly.
Right, yeah.
But the first one we're talking about here is child sexual abuse happens in South Carolina and elsewhere. Here's how to protect your children. All right, so that right there, and all the links will be on the bottom for every single one of them, just so you know, okay? Let's see.
South Carolina. No, back a page.
So
this says in South Carolina, minors age 16 and older are legally able to consent to sexual activity with adults. There are exceptions.
Sick?
I'm glad there's exceptions with having sex with school members. That's nice. I'm sorry that has to be put in. But then.
Yeah, seriously. And then you got consensual sex is also permitted when the parties are between the ages of 14 and 18. Any other from a sexual activity between an adult and a child constitutes abuse.
So they're saying a 16-year-old can have sex with a 40-year-old. That is okay. But you can't go into the military until you're 18. You can't have a drink until you're 21.
The problem is that most of these are not consented. They are usually forced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's so sad. It really is. And you got the rates of child sexual abuse are hard to measure. Experts say because the majority of cases are never reported to authorities. And
that's not true.
Very.
They are reported.
A lot. Don't get me wrong. There are cases that are not, only because they know that the police won't do nothing.
Yeah.
Or it'll bury them. They buried our case.
Yeah. I mean, best advice, you can legally videotape a police officer. So if you ever make a police report, record it. Get the officer's badge number, their name, the date, time, everything you're doing. And then as soon as you can, because when their shift ends, they have to go and type it up. So the next day, go get that report. Immediately. Because
there was an officer that did that with us. We filed a report and he never put it in.
And it came from the child's
mouth. And he said
mouth.
He would.
It came from the child's mouth. And they're recording all this too. They have the little cameras on their badges. They don't report it. We've even gone to get reports that said they were reported and they never handed it. It never existed. Record it. Everything you do.
Yes.
Because they will say it didn't happen. The longer you wait, the more time they have to fix it.
Yes. You want to record, and you know what we do? We get dogs. Mm-hmm. Dogs are awesome. Shepherds are even more awesome for children. They won't let anybody near those dogs.
No.
So, that really does help, because when a child has their own dog, I understand it's a lot more work for you. But that dog becomes part of that child, and that child is well protected. Because the dog already, an animal can sense. They have like a sixth sense, and they know when someone is not right or right.
Yeah.
I mean, that helps. Okay, but if you're not animal people, There's plenty of ways to protect. It's just simple as this. Don't trust everybody. Keep people away from your kids.
Yeah, I don't trust
And check
anybody.
on them in school.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of teachers. They're not to be trusted.
We have plenty of those stories coming up in future.
South Carolina
episodes.
elementary schools are still okay here. My brother works in one, and that one is a fabulous one. But
When you start getting in middle school,
you
and
go
high
to middle
school,
school, and then you go to high school, things are completely different.
there's one where a girl reported it. 2 girls reported a teacher. 2 different incidences. Still didn't do anything.
But see, that was going on when I was in high school. When I was in middle school, it started.
Yeah, bus drivers.
Bus drivers started at elementary.
They were. Ugh.
At that time when I was riding a bus, they didn't take down and check your background. Okay.
Yeah.
In the late 70s, early 80s, they didn't check your background. And there was, there's bus drivers that were. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of stories about bus drivers.
Yeah.
Now they check up their background. But, when it comes to a pedophile, you have to understand you got to catch them.
Yeah.
And who's even worse to catch is a woman.
Oh, man, especially a grandma. They don't ever
Yeah.
check the grandmas.
No, but you know what? If you're looking into a Satanist family, that is part of their role. The grandma has to invade the child some way sexually. That is part of their grooming process. That's all in FBI record.
Yeah.
Okay, even though FBI ain't the greatest right now either. But you got to understand, no matter where we're talking about, government or FBI or wherever, there are good people working there.
Yeah.
You just got your tops that are no good that got in there. All right, so
But you can continue on, with the story. But there's a lot of comments in here that are kind of like, they just blow my mind.
And
They're saying only 38% is disclosed. Only 5% is confirmed. According to professionals, only 5% is abuse. That's a bunch of bullshit.
yes, it is.
Another thing to look out for, and they talk about a little bit in this story, majority of traffickers are rich folks, and they are family members. Family members will traffic their kids the most.
Oh, yeah. I was a federal worker that told me most rich people in South Carolina sold their kids.
Yeah. The county we're in is high for the rich folks, but other counties are more rich family members.
Now, mind you, I heard this from a federal worker, but you can do your own research on that.
Yeah, get out and talk to people. You'll get it. But read some of these comments. People say, they're like, oh, only 33%. Or there's only 33 cases reported in 1 year, but I know there was more. That's a comment.
Yep.
It's ridiculous, but go ahead and read that.
The vast majority of child sex abuse is perpetrated by someone the child and their caregivers know and trust, experts say. It's not a stranger, said Leonard. It is someone within the family, a coach, a teacher, a neighbor, someone you wouldn't suspect. Just 10% of cases of child sexual abuse are committed by strangers, Leonard said. Most people don't realize that, said Galloway Williams. They're afraid of the white van that's going to pull up, even though that happens too. And trying to pick up the kids because we have an experience. It was a silver pickup truck that tried with us. But 90% of abusers are people that are known and loved and trusted by the child and parents and community. And I want to let you know, they couldn't get a hold of that child because of the dog.
She released the dog. Yeah.
Let the dogs out. Yeah. Anyway, I'm a big dog lover. I'm a big animal lover. I rescue animals. That's what I love. So I got a lot of dogs. People might not like that. I don't give a shit. I am sovereign. And I do what I want.
Yeah.
As long as I am not hurting and I'm treating people the way I want to be treated, we're good. Okay, so move on. Next one. South Carolina Councilman accused. This is really important, guys. We really wanted to talk about this. My sister, she wants to kick him in the head. It's very important to get this word out. Okay? Former Bamberg County, South Carolina Councilman Carrie Trent Kinnard will stand trial in 2 weeks' time on multiple alleged child sex abuse charges, according to his attorney, Backery Sellers. We look forward to the trial, Sellers told me, adding he believed a jury of Kinnard's peers would be hard-pressed to find him guilty. Let me tell you, they prevent any time they can to get peers or to get a jury. They want the judges because the judges are corrupt.
Yeah.
Okay. Sellers said Kinnard wasn't always a good councilman. What does that
I
mean?
want to know what he voted for.
But he didn't commit these crimes.
So he
Oh,
sucked
he
at his
didn't.
job, but he's innocent. He was a shitty politician, but hey, he's good. He's innocent.
And apparently, he's been caught so many times and there's a lot of evidence, but whatever.
He had multiple counts that they were going for. It's more on the bottom. I forgot what the total was. Is it like 14 or something? It wasn't just one child.
Yeah.
He had a lot coming at him that they were trying to convict him for. But
Okay, so the next thing is
I think he was even posted. They posted a bond on him.
that's his mugshot. Ain't he so beautiful? Ain't he so?
There they are, his charges right there.
Okay, here we go. As of this writing, Kinnard is facing more than a dozen charges, including first-degree assault and battery, criminal solicitation of a minor, _, first-degree assault with intent to commit criminal sexual conduct, disseminating obscene material, ×2, first-degree criminal sexual conduct with a minor under 11 years old, ×5. That means he's done it 5 times more, right? ×5. And second-degree criminal sexual conduct with a minor between ages of 11 and 14 ×2.
He's granted bond.
And Kinnard, was granted bond back in April.
His wife even said he's a danger to the community. Do not let him out. His ex-wife came out saying that she was very concerned. He's a violent man.
He's got pull people. He knows too much, and they're going to tend to him.
His plea deal is the next one over that they end up doing.
Okay, so...
I mean, this started from 93 to 2020 he had.
Okay, so see how they can clean up? Looks are deceiving. Open the book and read it. Stop judging by cover. But this is a very, very entwined, sick thing going on in South Carolina. It's really, really bad. Families are struggling. If they got nothing to eat, there's a way that they can get food, is selling their kid.
Yeah.
This shit got to stop. That's, first and foremost, let me tell you something. There's plenty of money to go around. Ask the politicians who keep a credit card with our money. Okay? You want to complain about welfare? You want to complain about, feeding these kids or these poor folks? Most of these politicians, their second home and stuff ends up being on our dime. We knew someone that would get picked up, being a lawyer for Obama, picked up in a limo from here, South Carolina. Over. Why does she have to be picked up by a limo?
Yeah. Yep.
She was Obama's lawyer. That's my dime. That's kind of spending that don't need to happen. We need to feed our people. Period. No one should go hungry. We're too selfish and self-absorbed. You want to complain about welfare and poor people. They're not the problem. Someone's trying to keep them poor. These hoods are made on purpose. Just so sick. All of it. Okay, so Kinnard is scheduled to plead guilty in Greenville, South Carolina, 2 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday afternoon, December 7th. So that already happened. To 1 count of first-degree assault and battery. All other charges against him, and there were more than a dozen of them, will be dismissed. Like I said, he's got people helping him. He's got people. He can't talk. He knows things.
Yeah, but he gets to be 3.5 years with home incarceration.
Yep.
That's his
plea.
He's not
Of
going to jail.
3.5 years.
He ain't going to jail. He gets 3.5 years.
Okay, so we'll put the link on the bottom.
Yeah.
You go ahead and investigate all. Excuse us. We have a cold. We've been sick, so forgive us if we're a little loopy. Yeah. Alrighty. So the next one. Williston man sentenced to 27 years in federal prison for sexual exploitation of a minor and production of child pornography. So this guy gets 27 years, even though he only does 10% of his time.
Yeah.
27 years in federal prison. Okay. But the last guy did how many?
Oh, yeah. He had 3.5 years home incarceration. Politician for over dozens of counts. This guy, I think he had multiple children as well.
Yes, he did, but he's only getting charged for one.
Yep.
How's that work?
And if you don't pay child support, you'll go to jail for a year automatically. And this guy gets 27 years. He's going to be out when he's in his 50s. Well, if he'll do the full sentence, he'd be out in his 50s doing it again. And you'll be maybe do half of your time in family court. If you're lucky, you do only 6 months. If not, they'll make you do the full year. This guy's going to be out 10%. He'll be out.
It's crazy, but yet, you get caught with weed, and I don't believe in that because I look at it like this, okay? If it grows from the ground and God grew it, just like the mushrooms, who are you to make that illegal? Who are we? We're not God. God made that. What are you going to make, dandelions?
I'm sure they're working on something.
I mean, people kill so many dandelions. They don't like them growing in their yard. But, that's medicinal. Dandelions are very good for you. People wake up, start realizing things are different. They've made mushrooms where they're so poisonous they scared you. And there's a bunch of bull. They're medicinal. Before this psychotic medical hospitals that they got going on, this stupid insurance and everything else they got going on, all the gimmicks, put you on medication. They want you on medication. They don't want you to heal. Well, guess what? There's medicinal things that existed before the medical field. This medical field, okay? The Rockefeller medical field. And the medicinals help heal. All right.
But with this guy, I mean, they even had footages. They have that. He's actually talking to an FBI agent, which is how they got everything. And so he gets 27 years, supposedly. The problem here is that numerous children under the age of 7, why doesn't he get ruled to pay for their counseling for the rest of these children's lives? Why doesn't he get held responsible for paying for their shit for what he just... Where are those kids? FBI has them, has their pictures and everything. Why can't they find those children? Now they're scarred for life. That is a permanent counseling thing, and they just get, kicked to the curb again? Where are they? I'm glad he got his punishment. If it was up to me, firing squad. Get rid of him.
Well, listen, look, that's what Trump is saying.
When Trump gets reinstated,
he said it very nicely. He said, "I'm coming after you all."
Yeah.
You hurt kids?
Goodbye.
Yeah.
And use whatever money. I mean, come on. These kids need help. Well, who's going to help them now? I'm glad they caught the jackass, but why aren't these kids getting any help?
No, we're not getting any healing at all.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yep. And, our society, especially South Carolina, they don't give respect to children. Children in South Carolina is property. In a divorce.
Yeah, you're no different, unfortunately, and it's not to sound harsh, but a child is the same as a sofa. Yeah. That is how they're determined. They're considered property in South Carolina. And I know firsthand, in and out of the courts for the last 6-7 years. They are property. They're not looked at as people.
Yep. And I feel very strongly that when parents get divorced, the child should have a lot to say.
Yeah, and the loophole here.
There should have been could be a counselor asking the child, what do you prefer? What would you like? What do you see happening?
Here, our law says that there is no age. They can take the stand. They can speak for themselves. But it goes off of like maturity, how they are and everything. But everyone's like, 12 is too young.
That's not because
14
we
too
have a
young.
family member that shut her down. They didn't want to hear her.
They didn't wanna
She's
hear
trying to
it.
cry out for help. She's been crying for help, and everyone keeps shutting her down.
And this is graphic details. So so to our previous stories, it's very hard for children to speak because cops cover it, counselors, schools, everyone covers it. You're saying graphic details. Mm-hmm. One person caught the story. One person's been paying attention to things. But even still, this girl's done it, buried again. And it's an endless disgusting cycle until Trump finally comes in with the military and takes over. But these people are going to pay. They're going to pay for what they put these children through. Mm-hmm. All the people that turn this down need to pay for this.
Mm-hmm. We're not talking about mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, okay? Everybody learns from their mistakes, hopefully, eventually, whether you want to be the hand on the burner or just see that it's hot and you don't put it there. The point is, this is not a mistake. This is just evil.
Yeah.
Period. I'm sorry, but by the time you're already an older man and you're hurting these kids, you're done for. I don't see any. No. Nothing can heal you. I have not heard, and I've been in the counseling world. Nothing heals them.
They just get worse when they come out.
Yep.
They didn't have whatever they needed for how many years, and they just go back and do it again even worse and with more children.
Yep, and they tell you that too. They tell you that. So now we've got two other things to show you and talk to you about. What we need from everyone, let's see. Let's go back on the headshot. This is a letter. We're going to have something on the link on the bottom. What is needed is people's letters to go to two places. Okay? Katie?
So it would be Loy and Raland Brunson. They've started an appeal to the Supreme Court pretty much for there's a national security breach, election fraud, which is not being paid attention to. So they've created a lawsuit to the Supreme Court for all this. But Loy and Raland Brunson out of we'll get the address. It's in Ogden, Utah, but we can put up the address at the bottom of the screen. Mm-hmm. And then the other one, the original copy, will go to the Supreme Court.
Yes. Now, the one to the Supreme Court, it just needs your signature. The one to Brunson, we're being asked to pass on that you put $1 in with your letter, and you can write a little note saying thank you for all you've done. This has been something they've been fighting out of their own pocket. And most of us can have $1 mm-hmm. to give. They've spent already a lot of money.
Yeah.
And anything we can help or thank them for.
And you can pull up their case either on their site. It's on the Supreme Court's website. It is there. You can pull up when everything got passed. Their, sorry, it's the Zyrtec. They have a conference coming up January 6th, 2023 is when it's going to begin. It's a long trial. It's a long process, but it's going to start January 6th. So we're trying to get these letters in prior to that. One is for them, so they have the support, and 2 is for the Supreme Court. This is for 388 members, mm-hmm. including Pence, Biden, Kamala Harris, Pelosi, so that they all got to go. They all being held accountable for what they did.
So I'll give you an example of what we wrote. Okay, to whom it may concern of the United States Supreme Court, I am a citizen, which I don't like that word, but it is. I am a citizen. We're really not supposed to be citizens. We won't go into that. That's a different conversation. That's a different conversation for the United States corporation and just know that we know the difference. Okay, between 1776 and this. All right. I am writing to this letter to support the Brunson 22-380 Emergency National Security Appeal. I am in support of the petition charges against Joseph Biden, Kamala Harris, Mike Pence, Nancy Pelosi, and the 384 members of Congress that broke their oath to protect the United States Constitution from enemies, foreign and domestic. Okay. These members risked enemy control of 2020 United States election by refusing to investigate charges of election fraud. All right. So I'm not going to read it all, but it's pretty much that. Okay. You don't have to say much. You just tell them exactly why, that you are supporting the Brunson over the act and everything. Okay. Yeah. So this is what you need to do. The least you can do, because it's not much. Even if you don't send the $1, send them the thank you.
Yeah.
But I figure if we all send them $1 each, they get most of their money back. Right?
Yeah, this stuff is not cheap. Being in the courts, even Supreme Court's even worse. Don't even start it, but it is very expensive, especially to do your own lawsuit. It's not a free thing to do. A lot of paperwork, a lot of filing, notarying, certifying. It's ridiculous.
So we know. We know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We know.
I can't even begin to tell you.
Okay, so we're going to go and display something else now. It is a project, Pedophile Disclosure Project, which my sister is friends with the woman that deals with this.
She's on Truth, the one that Rachel talks to. So on TruthSocial, her name is at Real Pam Jones. And
there'll be a link on it.
Yeah. This is her website.
Yes. And she specifically works to fight, finds the news, and really works on getting things exposed.
It's a lot of work that she does. It's not easy to find these stories. So she puts she's a grandmother who just really, a lot hit her at once.
And she sent us some of the stories too,
yeah,
right?
It's bad.
Yeah.
But she dedicates pretty much her life to this, to saving children and getting the stories out there to protect your children.
Yes. Thank you.
So any support you can give her.
Yes, and get a dog for your kid. Get a dog for your kid. A nice shepherd.
Oh, gosh.
But anyway, I hope you guys were enlightened. And
any stories you find in your area, any stories you want to share with us, feel free to email us at justicesanctuary117@gmail.com.
Yeah, we have a few stories to come out too. It's just that there's so much news.
There is. We have our own personal stories, other people's stories. There's a lot coming. So
yes,
bear with us. We're trying to get more episodes out as soon as possible now.
Yeah, we're going into a time of healing next. This is all got to be over with first, though. So help us share. Help us get this news out. South Carolina needs a lot of help. Lots of help.
Yeah. We're not the Bible Belt everyone makes us out to be.
No.
They just hide behind that.
Yes, that's even worse. That's who, you know what I mean? Those are the, what do you call them? The
Pharisees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, Yahshua called them lizards. Oh, wait. Yeah, reptiles. Did you catch that?
That's a whole... Please don't email about that. She'll be on that for 4 podcast episodes. So,
well, I made it clear. I believe that there is a Bigfoot. Okay. Laugh all you want, but you're not the only being on Earth. If it was, then God's real boring. If you're it.
We're going to get a lot of subscriptions about Sasquatch now.
No, there's other channels for that. This is all for the kids.
Her husband loves it, though. You have Sasquatch stories. Her husband loves them. So please send it for him. He will be I'll pass ecstatic. It to him. Great Christmas gift.
All right, guys. Love you. Hang in there and help us hang in there. Okay? Be our support system. We'll be yours. You take care, guys. God bless.